Chapter 1. Introduction to English Pronunciation. Hi, I am Natasha, and today I am going to talk about the importance of improving your pronunciation. Clear pronunciation is essential for anyone learning English. It's what helps people understand us and what allows us to understand them. Pronunciation is the very first thing that people notice when we speak English, and getting it right builds our confidence and helps us express ourselves better. As the famous writer George Bernard Shaw once said, "The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place." Often we think we're saying things correctly, but pronunciation can sometimes create a barrier if we don't give it the right attention. Mastering pronunciation lets us communicate more clearly and easily, removing misunderstandings and making conversations enjoyable. Why pronunciation matters. Pronunciation is like the bridge that connects us to others in conversation. If words are pronounced clearly, people instantly understand what we mean, and we feel more confident when speaking. On the other hand, unclear pronunciation can lead to confusion or even misunderstandings. Imagine you're talking to someone and you say ship when you meant to say sheep. A small change in sound can completely change the meaning. Here's another example. If you say, "I need a pen," but the word pen sounds like pan, the listener might think you're talking about something else. Clear pronunciation can be the key that unlocks successful communication. Many beginners feel shy about speaking because they're worried about making pronunciation mistakes. That's okay. Everyone makes mistakes, and learning pronunciation is a journey. Together, we'll work through some practical techniques that make this easier. So, let's dive into how we can start improving pronunciation. Common pronunciation struggles and how to overcome them. Beginners face a few common challenges with pronunciation. Not knowing how words should sound. Often, English words are not pronounced the way they're spelled, which can be confusing. Think of words like night or honest. These words have silent letters, and it's hard to know their correct pronunciation just by looking at them. Don't worry. We'll cover tricks to handle such words. Fear of making mistakes. Many beginners worry about making pronunciation mistakes and feel self-conscious. Remember, making mistakes is part of the learning process. The best way to learn is by trying, practicing, and even laughing at small mistakes as you go along. Inconsistent pronunciation. Sometimes we might pronounce a word correctly in one sentence but struggle in another. This happens because the rhythm of the sentence affects the way we pronounce words. We'll talk more about intonation and stress in upcoming chapters to help with this. Feel free to comment below if there's a specific sound or word you find challenging. Sharing is a great way to know you're not alone in these struggles. First step: listening and mimicking. To start improving, one of the simplest things we can do is listen carefully to native English speakers and try to mimic their pronunciation. This could be in movies, shows, podcasts, or videos. Pay attention to how they say certain sounds and words, and then try to copy it. Listening and mimicking trains your ears and helps your mouth and tongue adjust to English sounds. Try watching videos on Natasha English Academy, where I model clear pronunciation for various words and phrases. Repeating after these examples will make it easier to sound natural when you speak. Practice words with similar sounds. English has many words that sound similar, but have slight differences in pronunciation. Practicing these pairs can help you notice the small details that make pronunciation clear. Here are a few to start with. Sheep versus ship pen versus pan cat versus cut seat versus sit. Try saying these word pairs out loud and see if you can hear the difference. Practicing with pairs like these makes you aware of how small changes in sound can lead to big changes in meaning. Feel free to share in the comments which words were trickiest to pronounce. Understanding how sounds are made. Our mouth, lips, and tongue work together to produce sounds. To improve pronunciation, try observing how your mouth moves when you say certain words. Notice where your tongue is placed and whether your lips are rounded or not. For example, to make the th sound in words like think or this, place your tongue lightly between your teeth and push air out. To say the V sound in very or victory, your top teeth should touch your bottom lip as you vibrate your vocal cords. Learning these details can make pronunciation clearer and easier to practice. A simple pronunciation. Exercise to start with. A fun way to begin is by recording yourself speaking. Choose a short sentence and record yourself saying it. Listen to how you sound and see if there's anything you'd like to improve. Repeat this a few times, trying to get closer to the correct pronunciation each time. It's a fantastic way to hear your progress. Here's a sentence to try. I want to speak English clearly. Record yourself saying it a few times, focusing on each word, and notice if you feel more comfortable each time. Feel free to let me know how it goes in the comments. Motivation to keep going. Improving pronunciation takes time, but with steady practice, it's definitely achievable. As Winston Churchill once said, continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. Just a few minutes each day can lead to big improvements over time. Chapter 2. The Building Blocks of Pronunciation. Now that we understand why pronunciation is so important, let's dive into one of the most effective tools for improving it. Phonetic sounds. These sounds are the core of the English language. Learning them will help you pronounce words more accurately and feel more confident when speaking. The sound of words is as important as their meaning, said the writer T.S. Eliot. When you're learning a new language, mastering the sounds can make a huge difference. Pronunciation starts with recognizing and practicing these individual sounds. So let's break down the phonetic sounds and discover how they can improve our English. What are phonetic sounds? Phonetic sounds represent the distinct sounds we make when we speak. In English, there are 44 phonetic sounds, 20 vowels and 24 consonants, that make up every word. These sounds aren't always represented directly by letters, which can make pronunciation confusing. For example, the letter A sounds different in words like cat, car, and cake. By focusing on these 44 sounds instead of just letters, we can start to understand how to pronounce words correctly. This system is called the International Phonetic Alphabet, and it shows the correct way to pronounce every sound. You don't need to memorize it all at once. Just start by practicing one sound at a time. Vowel sounds. Let's begin with vowel sounds. Vowels are powerful because they can change the entire meaning of a word. English has both short vowels, like in sit or cat, and long vowels, like in seat or cake. Here's an exercise to help you practice both short and long vowels. Try saying these pairs of words out loud and listen to the difference. Sit and seat, cat and cake, bit and beat. Notice how the vowel changes the meaning? By practicing these pairs, you'll start to recognize vowel sounds and feel more confident when speaking. On Natasha English Academy, you can find videos where I model these vowel sounds and more examples. Watching and repeating after these videos can help you get comfortable with vowel sounds. Consonant sounds. Next, let's look at consonant sounds. Consonants are just as important as vowels in creating clear pronunciation. English has 24 consonant sounds, and each one requires a specific placement of your tongue, lips, and teeth. Here are a few examples of consonant sounds to practice. The t-sh sound, as in think or that. For this sound, place your tongue lightly between your teeth and push air out. Beginners often find this sound challenging, so try practicing it in front of a mirror. The R sound, as in red or river. In English, the R sound is pronounced by rounding your lips slightly without touching your teeth or tongue. This sound is different from how R might be pronounced in other languages, so take some time to practice it. The V sound, as in very or victory. This sound is made by gently placing your top teeth on your bottom lip and letting the sound vibrate. Try saying these sounds out loud and pay attention to how your mouth moves. Practicing these distinct sounds will help improve your overall pronunciation. You can also watch tutorials on Natasha English Academy for more examples and guided practice. Common challenges with phonetic sounds. When learning phonetic sounds, beginners often face challenges such as mixing up. Similar sounds, some English sounds like B and V or S and Z sound very similar, but can completely change the meaning of a word. For instance, bat and vat are two different words. Listening carefully and practicing these pairs can help. Silent letters. English has many words with silent letters, which aren't pronounced but still affect how the word sounds. Examples include the K in night or the B in thumb. Memorizing these words and practicing their pronunciation helps you become more familiar with silent letters. Stress and intonation. In English, the stress on certain syllables can change the meaning of a word. For example, record, as a noun, has the stress on the first syllable, while record, as a verb, stresses the second syllable. We'll discuss stress in more detail in a later chapter, but for now, start paying attention to where the stress falls in words as you practice. If you're facing any of these challenges, don't hesitate to mention them in the comments. It's helpful to know that others may be experiencing the same thing, and we can support each other. Practical tips for practicing phonetic sounds. Here are some practical tips to help you practice and remember these sounds. Practice 1. Sound at a time. Don't try to learn all the sounds at once. Choose one sound, like the th sound, and practice it until you feel comfortable. Repeat words that use this sound, like think, three, or through. Listen to native speakers. Listen to English speakers closely, whether in movies, shows, or YouTube videos. Pay attention to how they pronounce certain sounds and try to mimic them. Listening is one of the best ways to improve pronunciation. Use a mirror. Watching yourself speak in a mirror can help you see how your mouth and lips move when making different sounds. This visual feedback can be very helpful for learning specific sounds. a quick exercise to start practicing. Here's a quick exercise. Take a short list of words with challenging sounds and try to pronounce them in front of a mirror. Repeat each word 3 times. Here are a few to start with. This cat sheep think river. Listen carefully to your pronunciation and keep practicing until you feel more comfortable. Share your experience in the comments below. What sounds did you find most challenging? Stay consistent with your practice. Learning phonetic sounds can seem like a big task, but taking it step by step makes it achievable. Try practicing one sound each day, and over time you'll start to notice an improvement in your pronunciation. As Alexander Graham Bell said, "Before anything else, preparation is the key to success." Each small step is a part of your preparation for speaking confidently. Each sound you master brings you closer to clear and confident English pronunciation. Remember, these sounds are just building blocks. Practice them patiently, and soon they'll become a natural part of your speech. Chapter 3: Mastering Vowels and Consonants. Now that we have explored the basics of phonetic sounds, it's time to dive deeper into 2 essential sound types in English: vowels and consonants. Understanding and mastering these sounds is the key to improving your pronunciation and speaking with confidence. As the famous linguist David Crystal said, "Language is the dress of thought." By mastering the individual sounds of English, we're learning how to make our thoughts sound clearer and more natural. Why vowels and consonants are important. Vowels and consonants work together to give words their shape and meaning. In English, small differences in these sounds can completely change what a word means. Consider the difference between cat and cut, or pen and pan. Changing just a single vowel or consonant can make a new word, so learning to pronounce them correctly is crucial. Mastering these sounds also helps make your English sound more fluent. When vowels and consonants are pronounced accurately, you'll notice that you're understood more easily by others. Let's explore how to approach these sounds and start practicing them effectively. Practicing vowel sounds. English has short vowels and long vowels that sound different but can sometimes be spelled the same way. For example, the A in cat is a short vowel, while the A in cake is long. Listening for these differences can help improve your pronunciation and make your speech sound more natural. Here are a few tips for practicing vowels. Identify short and long vowels. Start by learning which vowels are short and which are long. Practice by saying pairs of words with both short and long vowels. Here are some examples. Short vowel, bat. Long vowel, bait. Vowel pair practice. Try saying words in pairs to feel the difference between short and long vowels. Sit vers seat, bit vers beat, cat vers cart. When you say these words, notice how your mouth opens slightly wider for the long vowels than it does for short vowels. Practicing these vowel pairs will make you more aware of the subtle differences in sound, which can improve your overall pronunciation. Check out videos on Natasha English Academy, where I demonstrate these vowel sounds with more examples. Listening to and repeating these sounds can be a helpful way to improve. Tackling consonant sounds. Consonants are also essential for making English words clear and understandable. English has several consonant sounds that may feel unusual if they don't exist in your native language. By practicing how to make each sound, you'll gain confidence in your pronunciation. Here are some tips for mastering consonants. Focus on mouth position. Consonant sounds are created by how we position our lips, teeth, and tongue. For example, the th sound in think is made by lightly placing your tongue between your teeth and blowing air out. Distinguish similar sounds. English has several consonants that sound similar but have slight differences in how they're produced. Here are some common examples. B versus V. For B, your lips press together, while for V, your top teeth touch your bottom lip. S versus Z. The S sound is unvoiced, meaning it doesn't use your vocal cords, while the Z sound is voiced, so it has a slight vibration. Try saying words with these sounds in front of a mirror. You'll see how slight adjustments in your mouth shape change the sound and meaning of each word. Common mistakes with vowels and consonants. Beginners often face a few specific challenges with vowels and consonants. Here are some common ones and ways to work through them. Mixing up similar vowels. Some learners mix up similar sounding vowels, such as E and I. For instance, saying bit instead of bet can change the meaning of the word entirely. To overcome this, keep practicing pairs of words that have these similar sounds and listen closely for the differences. Not pronouncing ending consonants. Clearly, in English, we often pronounce consonants at the end of words, like the D in red or the T in cat. Skipping these sounds can make speech less clear. To practice, read a list of words with ending consonants and focus on pronouncing each sound clearly. Silent letters. English has many words with silent letters that aren't pronounced, like the K in night or the B in thumb. These can be confusing at first. Familiarize yourself with common silent letters, and remember that they don't affect the pronunciation even though they're in the spelling. If you find any of these challenges difficult, feel free to leave a comment below. It's always great to share what you're working on and get support from others who may face the same challenges. Practical exercises for mastering. Vowels and consonants. Let's put what we've learned into practice with a couple of exercises. Word pairs practice. Choose 5 pairs of words with similar sounds like cat and cut or pen and pan. Practice saying each pair several times, focusing on the small differences in sound. Tongue twisters. Tongue twisters are fun and effective for improving pronunciation. Here's a short one to practice. She sells seashells by the seashore. Try saying this slowly at first, then gradually speed up as you feel more comfortable. This will help you master consonant sounds and make you more aware of how they fit together in sentences. Record yourself. Choose a few words or sentences that use vowels and consonants you find challenging. Record yourself saying them, then listen back to check for accuracy. This exercise is great for self-correction and noticing progress. Finding the rhythm of English has a natural rhythm that involves the pattern of vowels and consonants working together. This rhythm, combined with word stress, which we'll talk about in the next chapter, gives English its unique sound. Practicing vowel and consonant sounds with this rhythm in mind helps improve your overall fluency. When you speak, try to keep the rhythm in mind and think of each word as a combination of clear, distinct sounds. Over time, this will make your pronunciation smoother and more natural. Motivation to keep practicing. Remember, improving pronunciation takes time and effort. Every time you practice vowels and consonants, you're building your skills. Don't get discouraged if it feels difficult at first. It's completely normal. As the writer Dale Carnegie once said, inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. Keep practicing a little each day, and soon you'll notice real progress. Chapter 4. Mastering Stress and Intonation for Natural-Sounding English. Now that we've covered phonetic sounds, vowels, and consonants, let's talk about two critical elements that bring English to life: stress and intonation. These two factors help to convey emotion, add emphasis, and make your speech sound more fluent and expressive. As Mark Twain said, "The right word may be effective, but no word was ever as effective as a rightly timed pause." Stress and intonation do just that. They create rhythm and pause, making your English sound natural and helping listeners better understand your message. What is stress in English? In English, stress refers to emphasizing certain syllables or words. When you stress a part of a word, you say it louder, slightly longer, and with more force. Knowing which syllables to stress can help prevent misunderstandings and improve clarity in your speech. For example, record, noun versus record, verb. Contract, noun versus contract, verb. In each of these pairs, changing the stressed syllable changes the meaning of the word. In general, nouns tend to have stress on the first syllable, while verbs often stress the second syllable. Paying attention to where the stress falls in words is crucial to accurate pronunciation. To practice, pick a few words and exaggerate the stressed syllable. For example, say contract and contract slowly, noticing how the meaning changes. Watching the pronunciation videos on Natasha English Academy will also help you understand stress patterns and practice with real-life examples. Word stress in sentences. Stress in English isn't just for individual words. It also applies to entire sentences. In sentences, we emphasize the most important words, usually nouns, main verbs, adjectives, and adverbs, while small words like articles, a, an, the, and prepositions, in, on, at, are unstressed. This emphasis on certain words helps to convey meaning and intent. Let's try a sentence to see how stress affects the message. I didn't say she stole the money. Depending on which word you stress, the meaning changes. I didn't say she stole the money. Someone else might have said it. I didn't say she stole the money. I implied it, but didn't say it directly. I didn't say she stole the money. Someone else stole it. By practicing sentence stress, you can add emphasis to the most important part of your message. Try it yourself and share in the comments how it changes the way you feel about a sentence.